In late 2003, after the drowning death of 26-year-old Trish Hughes, the mood at Angel's Landing was grim. Sisters Emily and Sarah watched as the family commune patriarch Lou tried to cheer everyone up. Another young woman had joined the family commune, and soon Lou and she were engaged, with a little girl on the way. And as the clouds lifted over Angel's Landing, shiny new rides appeared in the drive.
Before Trish died, there was 3 Corvettes, and everybody else had an SUV. And then after Trish died, it got more and more and more extravagant.
More vehicles,
higher priced vehicles.
Salesmen must have been licking their chops to see him coming, huh?
They were. We all had the dealership's owners' cell phones. Cell phone
Speed dial,
number.
huh?
Yeah.
In fact, Lou spent $1.5 million on cars in just a few years. And his lavish generosity didn't stop at the family. Civic-minded Lou was showered with high fives from the city council after he donated $19,000 towards a brand new police vehicle. And cops were always welcome at the extravagant parties thrown by Lou at Angel's Landing.
One of the officers in the county dated one of the women there for a while, huh?
That was me.
It was you?
But not everyone in uniform was joining in the fun.
It didn't smell right.
A local informant gave a "Psst, check it out" to Wichita detective Ron Goodwin, an undercover narcotics officer who ended up recruiting 2 law enforcement heavyweights. And in early 2003, from the shadows, the detective was eyeballing the commune, zeroing in on Lou Castro.
Ron, why did you become interested in him in particular?
He drew attention to himself.
Kind of flashy or ostentatious?
Flashy. He had what appeared to be unexplained wealth. Drew attention to himself with parties, high-optioned vehicles. Each vehicle had an Angel vanity plate with a number after it, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe he had old family money, was an inheritance guy.
Sure, and that was something that we had to look at without violating any of his rights.
You thought there was a lot of smoke around this guy, but you didn't know what exactly it was coming from.
There was.
And the smoke kept billowing when Goodwin learned about the death of Trish Hughes.
So her death didn't trigger your interest in him?
It absolutely triggered more of my interest in him.
Goodwin wanted to find out exactly who Lou Castro was. He ran Castro's name in law enforcement databases and quickly discovered he was trying to put his finger on a man who seemed to have no past, a virtual ghost. And not long after Trish Hughes' death, he trawled the internet.
And as I started researching, I started noticing that there were other deaths associated with him.
He landed on that obituary of Mona and her daughter Lindsay, and bingo, there was Lou's name.
That was the first time I'd seen Lou Castro in print.
Underlying Goodwin's suspicion about Castro's unexplained wealth, he theorized he had a drug case.
I work drug cases, and unexplained wealth is something that you look at to determine if that's how this person might be earning their money.
So Goodwin set out to collect evidence from Angel's Landing. He began with the trash bags. Maybe inside there was evidence of drugs, incriminating documents, or a fingerprint.
So maybe if you can get a fingerprint, somewhere he'll be in the system and you'll come up with a name.
That's right.
You tried to get a fingerprint.
I did.
And the tech guys couldn't come up with anything.
They could not.
Frustrating. There was no evidence of drugs. And nearly 3 years later, there were still no clues as to who Lou Castro was.
He's putting the gas in it.
But in 2006 came another shocking coincidence.
Brian, how'd you wreck yours?
I didn't wreck it.
Brian Hughes, Trish's husband, an experienced 31-year-old mechanic raising their daughter in the commune, suffered an unimaginable accident. As Emily tells it, Brian was visiting family in South Dakota.
One day he called and he spoke to Lou for a little while, and then he asked to speak to his daughter, who was still in Wichita. And the story goes that he told her goodbye.
Told his daughter goodbye.
Right. And then a couple hours later, we got the call that he had been crushed underneath the car that he was fixing.
Brian was dead. Really? That didn't make any sense to Emily.
He would have put blocks under the tires.
He knew his way around a vehicle.
Right.
And then he was dead.
Yeah.
The bodies were piling up, 5 now, but none of the findings in any of the cases, including Brian's, concluded there was foul play.
It was classified, and still is classified, as an accident.
Detective Goodwin decided he was going to have to find a new angle on the enigma of Angel's Landing and Lou Castro, even if he had to work around the clock.
What drove you on this thing?
There had to be something else out there he was hiding from.
The mystery.
Yeah, the mystery of Lou Castro, his true identity.
One thing was for sure, Goodwin wasn't going to let this go.